Dear student, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we are going to discuss our module Adsorbent, PSA, Adsorption Cycle, Rotary and Fluidized Bed. In this module, we are talking about the various kinds of adsorbent along with their physical property. We are going to discuss on pressure swing adsorptions, their principle and their applications, adsorption cycles and principles and working behind the rotary and the fluidized bed. Now we are going to discuss the module in detail. Adsorbent, PSA, adsorption cycle, rotatory bed and fluidized bed. Introductions. Before going to the module in detail, we are going to define some term. First, we define what is adsorption. It is a process of accumulation of substance on the surface of the another substance. It may be defined as a surface phenomena which deals with the utilization of surface force and concentration of the material on the surface of the solid body. Adsorption is most commonly used to recover products and purify the gas stream having high concentration of organic matters. Now we have defined adsorbent. It is defined as a material that has the ability to extract certain chemical substances from gases, liquids and solid and adhere on their surface without any change in their physical properties. Adsorbent play an important role in various industries, cleaning of the environment and in processing of the fuel. Various kinds of adsorbent are used in separations, emissions of the gases and in controlling the environmental reactions. Now we are going to discuss types of adsorbent. Depending upon the structure, pore size, distributions of the microspore size, there found a significant difference in the adsorptive properties based upon their types of material. The adsorbent, they are classified basically into two types. First one is inorganic adsorbent and second one is organic adsorbent. Inorganic adsorbent, most minerals and synthetic inorganic material are used as the adsorbent like metal chloride, silicates, oxides, diatomaceous earth, limestone, sodium bicarbonates. Commonly used inorganic adsorbent are silica, zeolites and alumina. Next one is the organic adsorbent. Adsorbent based upon their organic material that is synthetic or which may be natural like carbons and charcoals, cellulose, collagens, wools, chitin, crop residue, corn polysaccharide, etc. They are used as the adsorbent as well as absorbent. Commercially available adsorbent are activated carbons and polymer. Polymer may be polymethyl acrylate, vinyl pyridines. First one is silica gel. It is made up of sodium silicate. It can be prepared in a two-way. In one method, sodium silicate is mixed with the sulfuric acid. Jelly-like precipitant are formed. These precipitant are dried and roasted. Chemical formula is SiO2 and H2O. In another method, salicylic acid is polymerized and condensed in the aqueous solution to form a chain of spherical particles of 20 to 200 angstrom diameter. When drying, the particles agglomerate to form a microporous structure. Silica gel is useful desiccant where high capacity is required at a low temperature and moderate pressure. It is ineffective at a very high temperature which is above than 500 degree Fahrenheit. Second one is activated alumina. It is porous high area forms of aluminum oxide prepared either directly from the bauxite or from monohydrate by dehydrations and recrystallization at an elevated temperature. It is amphoteric in nature, showing both acid and the basic character. Its surface is strongly polar. The capacity of activated alumina, it is higher at an elevated temperature, so it can be used as a desiccant for drying the warm air of the gas stream. It also used as a support material in catalytic reactions. Next one is activated carbon. It is made by thermal decompositions of carbonaceous materials such as coal, wood, coconut, nutshells and petroleum-based products. Then activations. Activations is done by the removal of terry carbonization product, so opening the old pores. with a stream or a carbon dioxide at a elevated temperature. These gases, they attack the carbon and increase the pore structure. Surface of the carbon is non-polar in nature, showing slight polarity due to surface oxidations and used to control the emissions of toxic gases and a wide varieties of organic solvent. They are hydrophobic and organophilic, therefore used in the water purification, solvent recovery in automobiles, air purifications and decolorizing sugar. Next one is carbon molecular sieve. Carbon sieve are prepared from decompositions of polyvinylidene dichloride at earliest, but now varieties of materials are used in their preparations. Most commonly used material is anthracites or hard coal. Carbon sieve is prepared by their controlled oxidations and thermal treatment. The pore size depends upon the conditions during which they are prepared. These carbon sieve, they are used in air separations, productions of hydrogen gas and cleanup of the off gases from the nuclear facilities. Next one is the zeolite, which is also known as the molecular sieves. Zeolites, they are porous, crystalline aluminosilicate which are obtained naturally or formed synthetically. It consists of SiO4 and AlO4 tetrahedra which are joined together in the various arrangement by sharing the oxygen atom, forming a crystal lattice containing the pores where other molecule can easily penetrate. Two crystal types, they are most common. Type 1 having the opening formed by 4 sodalite cage, and type X or Y, they have opening which is formed by 6 sodalite cage as shown in the figure 1. It can be used to capture or separate the gases on the basis of their molecular shape and size. Molecular sieve are used to remove the moisture from the exhaust stream, to remove nitrogen oxide compound and to separate hydrocarbon in refining processes. MCM41, it is a zeolite material. It has uniform and large pore size. Surface is acidic in nature, having a large surface area. It helps in the removal and recovery of volatile organic compounds and reductions of nitrogen oxide with the hydrocarbon. Zeolite HM is an effective in separating the carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide gases in low concentrations in a mixture due to its cationic and geometry of the pores. Next comes up with the adsorptions and desorption cycle with the zeolites. What is adsorption? Zeolite is a crystalline mineral which has the property of absorbing the water vapors because of its porous structure and high amount of heat is released out in the process. Next is desorptions. In this process, water is baked out from the zeolite in the forms of vapors by heating the zeolites and liquefy in the evaporation vessels. Next one is a synthetic polymers. These adsorbents are made by cross-linking the long-chain polymers having varieties of functional group. They have rigid microporous structure. They have a very high adsorption capacity for selected organic compounds and dissolve more rapidly as compared to the activated carbon. They are used in the gas stream containing large amount of the water vapors. Synthetic polymers, they are used to control the organic compounds like ketones, reactive monomers and aldehydes. Major limitations is only their high cost. Next one is the activated coconut charcoal. It used to adsorb volatile organic compounds. The use of solid waste like waste, tire, coal reject and oil palm fibers, they are used to develop adsorbent which are used in the removal of volatile organic compounds, NOx and phenolic compounds. The selection of these suitable adsorbent is based upon their properties lying very high internal surface and high porosity, high adsorption efficiency, regenerability, kinetic thermal stability, mechanical integrity, low pressure drop and their low cost. Adsorptions occur at a gas-solid interface, so effectiveness of any adsorbent is depending upon the available surface area. Larger the surface area, higher is the adsorption capacity. Dubonnet classified the pore in the activated carbon as a micropore having the size of 10 to 100 angstrom. Translational pores means 100 to 1000 angstrom and macropores having the size of above than 1000 angstrom. Most of the gaseous pollutant is in the range of 400 to 900 angstrom in size. So large pore act as a only passageway and smaller one deserve as a best strong adsorption forces. Now let us start with what is the adsorption system. There are two kinds of adsorption systems are there, non-regenerative and regenerative. First we discuss upon the non-regenerative adsorption system. It consists of thin adsorbent bed ranging in thickness from 0.5 to 4 inches, that is 1 to 10 centimeter. It is mainly used in air purification device for small air flow stream like laboratory exhaust and in the office. The thin bed adsorber available in different shape like flat, cylindricals and plated shape. The activated carbon granules are retained by porous supporting material as perforated metal sheets. Next one is regenerative adsorption system. It consists of fixed, moving and fluidized bed. These systems are used to control varieties of organic vapors and are regenerated by low pressure steams. Fixed carbon bed are used for controlling the air pollutant. The organic compound may be recovered by condensing the exhaust from the regeneration step and separating the water and the solvent. Regeneration is done by reversing the adsorption process by increasing the temperature and decreasing the pressure. There are four methods by which we used for the regeneration are. First one is pressure swing. In this, pressure is lowered at a constant temperature to reduce the adsorbent binding capacity. Next one is thermal swing. The bed is heated to reduce the adsorption capacity. Steam regeneration is a best example of thermal swing regeneration. Third one is inert purge gas stripping. Stripping is caused by inert gases which reduced the partial pressure of the contaminant. In this molecule, they migrate from surface into the gas stream. And fourth one is a displacement cycle. This method is used where the adsorbate is heat sensitive and valuable. The adsorbate is displaced by preferential adsorbed material. Now start with the pressure swing adsorption, PSA. Adsorption is a separation process in which essential requirement is an adsorbent that absorb one component from the mixture of the component. The selectivity maybe depends upon difference in the kinetic, that is absorption rates, or on the difference in the adsorption equilibrium. PSA technology is defined as the selective adsorption of one or more component of a feed gas mixture on a solid adsorbent so that the adsorbed phase with compositions different from the feed mixture is formed when the feed is contacted with the adsorbent. The adsorbed components are then deadsorbed by reducing the partial pressure and the clean adsorbent can be reused again. In short, we can say that PSA process is consists of cycle sequences of adsorption at a very high partial pressures and desorption at a very low partial pressures. There are basically two main principles of the separation in all the adsorption process. First one is adsorption and second one is desorptions. Adsorptions here, the preferential adsorbed species, they are picked from the mixture, and in the desorption, here the species are removed from the adsorbent. This process is also known as regenerating. In PSA process, the adsorbed species are removed in the regeneration step by reducing the total pressure under isothermal conditions. The adsorptions taking place at a high pressures and desorptions occur at a low pressure. This principle is proposed by us Skarstrom. A simple process consists of 4 cycles. In the first step, high pressure feed flow through bed. Here a part of its effluents is expanded to the lower pressure and then bed undergo blow down through the feed, and in the second step, in the third step, the heavy component is dissolved from the fixed bed and other are purged out at a low pressure from the storage tank. The gas from the storage tank is utilized in fourth step for the pressurized as shown in the figure 2a and 2b. What are the application of this pressure swing adsorption? First application is separation of the air, that is removal of water and carbon dioxide from the air feed to distillation column. Second is production of carbon monoxide from the blast furnace and steel industries. Third one is hydrogen production from the steel methyl reformer of gases, productions and upgrading of hydrogen from the different hydrogen containing gases. Fourth application is production of ammonia from the SMR of gases. Fifth is production of carbon dioxide from the methane separations and upgrading the crude natural gas. And next one is the alcohol dehydrations, helium recovery from the divine gases, solvent vapor removals and recovery, separations of normal and isoparaffin, ozone enrichment. So we can say that it can provide an energy efficient, low cost, very flexible method of gas separations as compared to other conventional methods like distillations and adsorptions. Next comes with the adsorption cycle. Adsorption is a reversible process where the molecule is fixed onto a solid matrix, consists of porous material. Adsorption is a exothermic reaction because energy is lost when the molecules are fixed on the adsorbent. Adsorption cycle of refrigeration, it consists of 4 periods. First step is heating and pressurizations. In this period, the adsorber receive heat while being closed. The temperature of the adsorbent increase, resulting in increase in pressure, and it is known as compression cycle. Second step is also shown in the figure, heating and desorption plus condensation. Here, absorber receiving heat continuously while induced desorptions of vapor. The dissolved vapor is liquefied in the condenser. This period is called as condensation in the compression cycle. Third step is also showing in the figure 3, cooling and depressurizations. In this cycle, absorber release heat while being closed. The temperature of the adsorbent is decreased, which induced to decrease in the pressure. This is called as expansion in the compression cycles. And last one step is the cooling and adsorptions plus evaporations. The absorber continuing releasing heat while being connected to the evaporator. The temperature of the adsorbent decreasing, which induced adsorptions of vapor. This is known as evaporations in the compression cycle. Now start with the rotary beds and fluidized bed. First come with the rotary beds. In the solids and vessel move together relative to fixed inlet for the feed and fixed outlet for the product. It is used in recovery from air onto activated carbon. It is consist of following component, that is steam, solvent, rotor drive, air filter, solvent, Leiden's air, motor, water solvent vapors, fans, air coolers, storage, drain as shown in the figure 4. The activated carbon is contained in a thick annular layer and radial partition is done. Air entered through the drum circumferences and passes through the carbon layer to merge free of solvent. When drum rotate, carbon enter a section where it exposed to steams. Steams and solvent pass to the condenser and solvent is recovered by decanting or by distillation process. There is no separate provision for cooling and regenerating adsorbent. They allow cooling when in contact with the vapor Leiden, so adsorption's capacity become lower. Adsorptions and desorptions are formed simultaneously on the different sector of the rotor. The system is attractive for the retreatment of the dilute solvent laden airstream prior to incinerations. Now discuss the fluidized bed. As the rotary bed absorber has not been successfully used as a commercial lever due to high stream requirement in the cycle, heating and cooling of adsorbent. Another problem which is associated with a fixed bed system is their poor steam, gas distributions and complex valving requirement. To achieve this target in which solid move with respect to containing vessel, the fluidized bed absorber do better. Solid is easily added as well as removed from the fluidized bed and the absence of the cycling heating. Fluidized bed, they are designed that use activated carbon, activated alumina and polymeric adsorbent. They are large number of units was designed for SO2 adsorptions. The re-engulfed and alkalized alumina process are two examples of fluidized bed sulfur dioxide absorbs. They absorb SO2 along with the conversion of adsorbed gas to SO3. The figure is shown number 5, which showing the structure of the fluidized bed absorber. The commercial fluidized bed is persieve HR unit in which adsorptions and regeneration occur continuously in a separate zone, which has been shown in the figure. Inlet gas enter the fluidized top sections and flow upward through the sections and exit of the unit. The desorb adsorbent is cooled by heat exchange and lifted by air back to the top of the vessel. It consists of two sections. First is adsorption section and next one is desorption sections. Adsorption section, the sieve trays are used into which raw gases is passing through the sieve of the tray and then fluidized the solid adsorbent particles. The fluidized solid flow across the tray. Next section is a desorption section. The solid from adsorption section passes into the desorption section. The solid then enter into the preheated tubes and then through desorption tube. Moving bed is used in this section because the stripping stream flow rate is insufficient for fluidizing the solid. At the bottom, the regenerated solid, they are picked up by a carrier gas which then flow upward by gas lift line in the vessel on the top tray to repeat the adsorption cycles. Now we conclude our module by learning that activated carbon, alumina, zeolites and silica gel, these are the most commonly used adsorbent. The selection of a good adsorbent is depending upon the various physical property like their pore size, their surface area and the absorption capacity. Among all the adsorption system, the fluidized bed, it's showing a continuous operations and efficient utilization of the adsorbent. Hope we all are benefited from the modules. Thank you. लास्ट में फिर मैंने गड़बड़ की है. Hope we all are benefited from the module. Thank you.